There are two ways to find a square root. First method is prime factorization and the other one is division. Let's start with prime factorization. So this method you are well aware of because you have done it in your previous class when you were finding the prime factors of any number. So let's take an example. Let's take 1024. Let's find the prime factors of this number, or let's prime factorize it. So the smallest prime number that we can divide this is 2. So 2 will go in 10 5 times. 2 1s are 2 and 2 2s are 4. Similarly, 2 25 is a 50, or you can say 2 2s are 4, carry 1, and 2 5s are 10, carry 1, and 2 6s are 12. Similarly, 2 128s are, right? Then 2 64s are, then 2 32s are 64, 2 16s are 32, then 2 8s are 16, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4. So finally we have got all the prime factors of this number, which is 1024. Now how using this prime factors we will be able to find the square root of this number. So let's represent this number as a product of its primes. So 1024 will be equal to 2 times 2 times 2. How many 2s are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So times 2 times 2, let me write it down here. Okay, let me write 1 2, then times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, all the prime factors we have written. Now what will we do after this? We will try to pair the common factors. So here we have 2 2's, so we'll pair them as 1. So here when we are writing the square root of 1024, we can simply pair them as 1 2, and here this is another pair, so we can bring it down as 2. There is another pair, we can bring it down as 2. Another pair, we can bring it down as 2, and there we have another pair which we can bring it down. So finally if we find the square root of 1024, we'll get this result product here. So 2 times 2 4, 4 times 2 8, 8 times 2 16, 16 times 2 32. So square root of 1024 will be 32. Is it clear how to pair it off? Let's take one more example. Let's find the square root of 2916. So we'll find the prime factorization. So we'll start with the smallest prime number that can divide this number, that is 2. So 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8, carry 1, then 5s are 10, carry 1, 2 8s are 16. Next 2 7s are 14, 2 2s are 4, 1 2 9s are 18. Now this is not an even number, so it cannot be divided by 2. So next prime numbers we can see 3. So if we sum up the digits, we'll see it is divisible by 3. So 3 2 24 and then 3, then 3 8 is a 24, 3 1 is a 3, then 3 27 is a 81, then 3 9 is a 27, then 3 3 is a 9. Now let's represent them as a product of primes. So 2 9 1 6 can be written as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 1 2 3 4, then 2 3 into 3. So you have got all the prime factors here. Now to find the square root, we can simply pair them up. For each pair we'll write them once. So here is one more pair, 3, one pair 3, then the last pair 3. So the result will be 2 3 is 6, 6 3 is 18, and 18 3 is 54. Now you may be wondering, what if there is a number, or you can say another prime factor alone and there is no pair? So in that case, that number will not be a perfect square number. Okay, if there is any factor left alone without a pair, then we can say that number is not a perfect square. That is a non-perfect square. Okay, now we can apply another method here alternatively, which you may use if you want to. In that, what you can do is find the squares and represent the prime factors as squares. So here let's write it down, 2 9 1 6. If I just write it in the form of powers or exponents, so it will become 2 square times 3 is how many times? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 3 to the power raised to the power 6. Now to find the square root, what we can do is we can simply find the half of the exponent or the index. So 2 divided by 2, 3 to the power 6 divided by 2. So we are finding the half of the index, which will give us 2 times 2, that is 1. So 2 to the power 1 will get, and here we'll get 2 3 is 6. So 3 to the power raised to the power 3. Now see, it is like this one. 2 times 1 will give us 2. 3 times 3 means 3. 3 times 3. And if you open it and you multiply it, the result will be 54. So it is up to you whichever method you want to apply after finding the prime factorization, or after finding the factors, represent them as the product of primes, and then you can apply this step or this step. Clear? Now let's apply the division method. Now this division method is a little different from the prime factorization method. So here let's take the previous example, 1024, and let's find its square root. So draw a vertical line like this, and then for writing the quotient you can leave the space to the right side. And now what you have to do is you have to make pairs of the perfect square number, or you can say the number for which we are finding the square root. We'll make pairs. We'll start from the right and go to the left. Okay, so we'll start making pairs. So here we have one pair, 2 4, then we have another pair. Okay, so after we have made pairs, now we'll start dividing the numbers. So now we have to think of a number which you will square, you will get either 10 or less than 10, but not more than 10, but somewhere close to 10. So if I multiply 2 times 2 means 2 square, it will give us 4. 3 square will give us 9, but if I do 4 square, I'll get 16, that is more than this. So we'll take 3 square, means 3 times 3. Okay, 3 times 3 will give us 9, and we'll subtract it. So it will give us 10 minus 9 will give us 1, and then we'll carry down the next pair, that is 24. So both the numbers will come down, both the digits will come down. So the new number is 124. Now what we have to do on this side is, whatever number I have multiplied here, that very number I am going to add down. So plus 3. Clear? Whatever number I am multiplying, I have to add down below. So 3 plus 3 will give us 6. Write it a little to the left because we have to obtain another number in the ones place. Now think of a number that you will multiply, and what the number that you will place here, and you will multiply the same number on top to get this number, or number somewhere close to this number. So let's think of it 6, and what number should be in the ones place, means here multiplied by what number, that should be the same number, right? Same number to get 124, or let's say close to 124, but not more than this. So try to recall the properties that we learnt. What number can I multiply in the ones place to get a number resulting 4 in the ones place? So you can apply the property here as well. So 2 times 2, if you do, you get 4 in the ones place, right? So let's think of this number in 2 and let's multiply and see what we get. So here we will multiply 2 on top here, and then on top also we will multiply 2. So 2 2s are 4 and 2 6s are 12, and we have got 124. It means the number here will be 2, and we'll multiply by 2 to get 124. So finally we have finished the division. Now no need to add any further because we have no remainder left. So finally we have got the square root of, so we can say therefore square root of 1024 is equal to 32, and you know in the previous example we also got 32. Is this clear? Okay, let's take one more example. So let's take another number. Let's find the square root of 12,544. Now applying the same method, draw vertical line, and then for the quotient leave space here. Then start pairing, and where will you pair it from? We'll start from the right and go to the left. Okay, so here we have one pair, here we have one pair, and then finally we are left with 1. So leave 1 as it is. Okay, so 1 will be alone. So we'll divide 1 first. So what is the number that you can multiply square to get 1 or less than 1? We know it is 1, because if you multiply 2 times 2 will give us 4. So to divide 1, we'll multiply with 1. So 1 1s are 1, and we subtract, nothing is left. So next number we'll carry down, that is 25. So what we have to do after this, we have to add the same number. After multiplying 1, you have to add 1 here. So plus 1 will give us 2. Now think of a number that you can multiply, isn't it? can put here and multiply the same number here, right? So what number you should multiply in order to come somewhere close to 25, or let's say 25. So if I put 2 here and 2 here, so 2 to the 4, 2 to the 4, 44. That will be more. We have to get somewhere less than this, not more than this. So let's take 21. 21 ones will give you 21, isn't it? So we can simply say 21 times 1 will give us 21. So we'll multiply 21 here also, write 1. So 21 times 1 will give us 21. Now we'll subtract this, and what will we get? 5 minus 1, that is 4. Now we'll carry down the next pair, that is 44, right? Now we'll try to divide this number, but before that, whatever you have multiplied on top, you have to add below. So plus 1. So this number will become 22. So now what number you will multiply, you will add here, you will put here and multiply the same number to get 444. Let's think. So 2, 2, and what number should I put here and multiply the same to get, because this is the last number, so let's put it here, 4, 4, 4. So if I put 1 here, 1 times 1 will give us 221. If I put 2 here, then 2, 2 to the 4, 2 to the 4, and 2 to the 4, isn't it? So we can put 2, 2 to the 4, 2 to the 4, 2 to the 4. So we'll get 222 times 2 will give us 444, and we subtract, and there will be no remainder left, 0. So we have got the square root of 12,544. So we can write, therefore square root of 12,544 will be equal to 112. Clear? So always remember, whenever we are finding the square root by division method, we start pairing it. We start pairing it from right to the left. Clear? And whatever we multiply on the quotient, or whatever we put as the quotient, we have to add the same. Clear? So you multiplied 1, we added 1 here. Okay? So whatever number you multiply on top, you have to add below. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, how will we find the square root of a decimal number using the division method? Let's find the square root of 20.7936. So let's draw the vertical line for the quotient part here, and now let's start pairing. Now in the decimal number, we have an integral part and the decimal part. So the number earlier we took was for the integral part. Now what you're going to do, so integral part you will pair from the right to left. So we'll start pairing. So we have no more number this side, so we'll just pair and leave it. But for the decimal part, you will start pairing from the right to the left. So after the decimal point, you start pairing from the right. So one pair, then another pair. Okay? Now in questions like these, you may be given, okay, if it is a non-perfect square number, then you will be asked to round off the decimal places. We will come to finding the square root of a non-perfect square number in the next question. Now let's understand how to find the square root of this decimal number. So we'll do the same process. So first the number at the left, so first pair, that is 20. Now think of a number that you can square to get 20 or less than that, but not more than that. So if I do 4 times 4, it will give us 16. 5 times 5 becomes 25. It is more, so we'll take 4. So 4 times 4 will give us 16. So we'll subtract. So what is left? 4. Now we'll not carry down the decimal place. Don't think about the decimal place here. Just carry down the pair. So it is 79. And now you add whatever you have multiplied here. So plus 4 will give us 8. Now just place the decimal point here, because you have divided the integral part. Now you are going to the decimal part. So put the decimal place here. And now what number will you take here and multiply the same to get this number? So if I write as 8, and what number times what will give you some number close to this or equal to this. Let's think. So if I multiply 4, 8, 4 and 4, so 4 4 is a 16, 1 4 8 is a 32, 33, so 336. That is still less. What if I multiply 5? Let's see. 5 5 is a 25, carry 2, 5 8 is a 40, 42, 4 25. Yes, so we'll take 85 5 times. So it means the number that I should put here will be 5, and I'll multiply 5. So it will give me 425. We'll subtract this, and what will we get? 4 and then 5, and we'll bring down the next pair, that is 36. Now what we have to do, whatever number you have multiplied, you have to add the same here. So plus 5, that will give us 90. Now what number shall I put here and multiply the same to get this number? Now this is the last number. Let's see. So 90, and what number should I multiply to get this number? 5 4 3 6. So just recall the properties that you have learned. So if I try to square, what number should be in the ones place to square so that I get 6? If you recall, we had squared 4 and 6. So if let's put 4 and see here, 4 4 is a 16, 6 carry 1, 4 0 0, that will be 1. So this cannot be this number. Let's try to think of it as 6. 6 times 6 give us 36, 6 carry 3, 6 0 is a 0, and 3 will come down. Yes, 6 9 is a 54. So the number will be 6. So we'll put 6 here, and in the quotient also we'll put 6. We'll get 5436. So there will be no remainder left now, 0. So we have divided it completely, right? So this will be the square root of 20.7936. Clear? I have no space here, so this is the square root. So you have understood how to find the square root of a decimal number now. Now let's find the square root of a non-perfect square number. So let's take, for example, we'll find the square root of 13. Now since it is a non-perfect square number, so the square root will come in decimals. Okay, so what we can do, we can give a decimal point and add zeros to the decimal side, because a non-perfect square number, you will not be able to find the square root and the decimals will continue. So let's take 4 zeros and let's find the square root. So we'll find the square root to one decimal place. So for that we need to find the square root to 2 decimal places in order to round it off to 1 decimal place. Okay, in this example. So in the questions you will be asked as to how many places you have to round it off to. So here let's start making pairs. So the integral part will start from the left and the decimal part will start making pairs, one pair, the another pair, and if we keep on making pairs we'll go on. So here only I am taking 2 decimal places to round it off to 1 decimal place. So first number is 13. Now what number shall be squared? 3 3 is a 9, 4 4 is a 16. So 4 is more, so we can take 3. So 3 times 3 will give us 9. I'll subtract 9. So what will I get? 4. Now we'll bring down the zeros, this pair, so it is 400. Now whatever I have multiplied on top I shall add here, plus 3, that will give me 6. And then now we can think of a number that can be put here and multiplied to get this number, but before that you're not dividing the decimal part, so you'll put a decimal point here. So 6, and what number shall we put and multiply to get a number somewhere close to 400? So think of it. If I multiply 6 and put 5 here, so 5 times 5, 25, 5 carry 2, 6 the 30, 30 to 3, 25. It is still less, more we can multiply. Let's take 6. So 6 6 is 36, 3 6 6 is 36 plus 3 will get 39. Yes, 396 is close, but if I multiply in 7 here then it will be more than this, so we can take 6. So 6 and we can put 6, so 66 times 6 will give us 396. Now we'll subtract this, so what will we get? 4, right? Because we'll carry here 1, we'll carry here, this will become 9 and nothing will be left here. 10 minus 6, 4. Now we'll carry down 0, so here have another pair, again we have 400. Now what you have to do, you have to multiply this number and you have to add the same number down below. So plus 6 will give us 72. Now what number shall I put here and multiply to get 400? Think. So if I take 1, if I take even 1, 7, 2, and if I multiply 1 by that number, so what will happen? 1 1 is a 1 and 1721, so 721 is indeed more than 400. So if I take 0, 0 times 720 will give us 0, it will be less than that. So there is no option available, so we have to take 0, because if I take 1s it will be more than that. So 720 times 0 will give us 0. We subtract, again it will be 400. Now if I add, it will go on and on. Okay, so here I have taken only 2 pairs to find 2 decimal places, because I have to round it off to 1 decimal place. Okay, so whenever you in the question you are asked to round it off to 1 decimal place, you will take 2 pairs in the decimal places, and if you are asked to find 2 decimal places, then you will take 3 pairs. You can add 2 more zeros and make 3 pairs in the decimal part, and then you can get 3 decimal places and you can round it off to 2 decimal place. So you know how to round it off. So here let's say we are rounding off to one's decimal place. So one decimal place may we have to see the number in this 100th place. It is 0, means it is less, so the number will remain the same. 3.6 will be the square root, so we can say square root of 13 is equal to 3.6 approximately, we can say, or we can say rounded off to 1 decimal place. Clear? I hope you have understood how to find the square root of a non-perfect square number. Now, square root of a fraction. Now, how will we find the square root of fraction? It is very simple. Let's take an example. Find the square root of 36 by 25. So here we have to find the square root of 36 by 25. Now what we can do is we can simply find the square root separately of numerator and denominator. So we can denote it as square root of 36 by square root of 25. So separately we can find the square root of both numerator and denominator, which will be equal to what? Square root of 36 is 6 times 6 we get 36, so 6 is the square root of 36, and square root of 25 is 5. So 6 by 5 is the answer. So hope this is clear to you. So that's all for today's lesson. Keep practicing the questions. Stay safe and thank you.